As a 13 handicap golfer, I have always struggled with short putts and lag putts. Pretty much I'm not very good at putting or driving, and my irons need some work too. But back to putting. I'll do just about anything to get better on the greens, and I've always really wanted to put a lie angle balance putter into the bag. But if you're anything like me, there's one thing that's been stopping you from testing out a lie angle balance putter, and that is that you would be literally embarrassed to pull it out of your bag in front of your friends. I'm talking about Lab, I'm talking about Odyssey Square to Square. All of these putters have just been so visually atrocious for so long that I've never really given one a solid chance outside of practicing with it on the practice greens. But I think TaylorMade might have answered my prayers. This is the TaylorMade Zero Torque ZT Spider Putter. This is TaylorMade's answer to the lie angle balance putter market. I have two different versions with me today. Super excited to test these out. Let's see how they are. TaylorMade launched 3 different versions of the putter. I have 2 of them here. This is the more traditional style putter. This is a 35-inch length. This is a 38-inch length counterbalance putter. So there's actually a weight at the end of the handle. This is supposed to create more of that pendulum effect. And then the putter that I don't have here is the broomstick style, because honestly, I don't think there's ever a level of putting desperation that I or anyone should get to before they put a broomstick putter in their bag. We're gonna start with the counterbalance putter, give some first impressions, go over a few specs, and roll a few putts. The first thing I noticed when I set this down is that it feels way more natural to me than the Odyssey Square to Square or the Lab putter. I think a big part of the reason for that is this only has 1 degree of shaft lean, so my hands don't feel like they're really uncomfortably ahead of the ball. The Odyssey Square to Square is like 3 degree, and the grip doesn't have a press to it. So that one felt really uncomfortable. This feels way more normal. The second thing I'll notice right away is like, it looks like a putter, not a spaceship. Like, this just looks like a spider. The center shaft does look a little unnatural to me, but like in general, the club head just looks like a spider that everyone is used to, and it feels way more like a normal golf club. So curious to see how this feels out the face. Also, a couple things to caveat. I suck at golf. I'm like a 12, 13, 14 handicap, so take all this with a grain of salt. Also, they just punched and sanded these greens, which is really awesome timing. But anyway, let's see how this feels off the face. Yeah, no, this putter. Just kidding. That felt really good. Okay, like right off the bat, it's that classic TaylorMade true roll putter face technology. It feels just like a spider. And I suck. Okay, so we'll start with one like 10 footer, 20 foot, 30 foot, 40 foot, and see how this goes. I also will call out, of course, right before I do my first ever putter review, they punched the greens and sanded the greens, so I don't know how well they'll be rolling. You might have to hammer them a little bit, but let's see if we can get a feel for this. Not very good. Pretty good leave there. Oh, close. Okay, pretty happy with all 4 of those putts. One's like a little bit outside of a tap-in range, but I gotta say, like, it feels so easy to keep the club face square, and I know that's the entire point of these lie angle balance putters, but like more so than I've ever felt with any of these other putters. It just feels insanely easy to visualize that club going straight back and straight through. And also, it just gives me confidence when I'm looking at it because it looks like a normal putter. I don't feel like I'm questioning what I'm looking at. So honestly, first impressions, this thing's pretty awesome. But let's try out the more traditional 35-inch length putter and see how we like that one. Okay, next up we have the more traditional 35-inch length putter. This one just has a normal Super Stroke Pistol 1.0 grip on it. Again, 35-inch length, nothing special here, no counterbalance or anything like that. Feels a little bit weird going from the really thick counterbalance grip. But once again, this just looks like a normal putter. It just looks like a Spider. And it feels crazy easy to keep this thing square through the stroke. I mean, I can already say, like, one of these putters is gonna go in my bag, so I hope the rest of this review isn't biased, but like, genuinely the most impressed I've ever been with a putter right off the bat. If you're someone who's been wanting to try lie angle balance, but you just can't get over how foreign these things look, this is a really good putter to try out. This feels like something I can pull out of the bag and like not be embarrassed about in front of my friends. I don't even think people would know that there's anything special going on here. It literally just looks like a standard mallet putter. Really, really impressed so far. Let's roll a few from distance and see how that goes. Oh, missed that long. That one felt really good. It's a little short. Go. Okay, well, I would be super happy with all four of those. Those are all tap-ins, all gimmies. This is probably gonna be the most boring YouTube video ever, but like, this putter is pretty freaking sweet. And I love it. It's really impressive. Only thing I really don't like is this like turquoise blue. I'm like a kind of traditional color, like understated guy. It's a little bit out there for me, but I bet they'll come out with other options in the future. Outside of that, there's nothing about this putter that I don't absolutely love. So after rolling about 20 putts with each of these, I love them both. I think I'm actually leaning towards putting the counterbalance in the bag. It just feels insanely stable and easy to keep going straight back and straight forward. It genuinely feels like that pendulum effect that everyone tries to accomplish, where your hands are just doing the absolute least amount of work and you're just kind of letting the club head come back and come through. One thing to note, the head cover, I hate when people start reviews with head covers because, like, yeah, I get the head cover is important, but I'm not going to buy a putter because of the head cover. But the head cover is very nice. It's got these really nice magnets in it that fold around the center shaft insanely nicely. I'm not a fan of the color once again, but it's like a nice kind of leathery material. The Spider is not stitched in or printed on. It's kind of like plasticized on top, and it's really cool. And then there's also some lighter turquoise Spiders engraved in the head cover as well. It can definitely get that like premium feel, and it's got a nice and fuzzy inside, which I feel like is always a little added bonus. But again, I would never buy a putter because of the head cover. These putters are not cheap at all. They are coming in at $449 for the traditional length putter, and then $499 for the broomstick. And then this counterbalance putter is also coming in at the $499 price point. So not cheap at all, but I feel like literally every golf club made today, unless it's like a Tacomo, is just not cheap. So that's kind of just what you get. They are more expensive than the Odyssey square to square, which at first I was kind of confused by. I thought TaylorMade would want to come in really competitive, but after trying these and trying the Odyssey square to square, it's really clear why the price isn't competitive. Like, I don't think the putter is competitive. This feels significantly better than the square to square. It kind of feels like Odyssey rushed that club to market to compete with Lab. I don't necessarily think it was ready. Just the grip, the forward press, the look of the putter felt a little bit rushed. You can tell TaylorMade really took their time with this. They thought about it, they actually innovated, and they built a putter that I think is gonna kind of take the market by storm here pretty quickly. This is already won on tour before it even got released when Brian Harman won. So really sweet putter. Highly recommend you give it a shot. If you're somebody who gets really yippy and handsy with your short putts, like me, again, 13 handicap, not a very good golfer, I think this could be a really, really good thing to put in the bag. So give it a shot, try it out, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Good Old Days Golf. Hopefully I'll be making more of these videos. Unless I don't, but I might, and then you could watch them.